Hey everybody, this is Pastor Bob, and this is Life with Luke number 42. This last week we looked at Luke chapter 12, 1 through 12. Really interesting, and again, a pretty complicated and sometimes difficult passage, but full of encouragement and good news for us. Remember last week, Jesus went to a dinner party of a Pharisee, and things just really fell apart. Jesus ended up leveling 6 woes, serious woes against the Pharisees and teachers of the law, because they had all the outward appearances of having everything together and having a relationship with God, but inwardly they were bankrupt. And so that leads us into chapter 12, where Jesus is now out on the street and he's surrounded by a huge crowd, probably 10,000 people, and so many people that they're just being crushed. So there's this image of all this pressure bearing in on them. But Jesus is not talking to the crowd, he's talking to his disciples. And what he tells them is to be careful about hypocrisy, not only the kind of hypocrisy that we saw last week where the Pharisees and teachers of the law are just pretending to be something that they're not, but also the kind of hypocrisy that comes when we fail to live up to who we really are because of all the pressures on us, the pressures to not bear witness to God in our lives. And there are all kinds of pressures that bear in on us, and Jesus just mentions a few. One of them is just being afraid of rejection and physically being harmed or even killed by other people. Another one is just acknowledging God publicly in our lives when those situations and opportunities arise. We're pressured not to do that. And the third one is the pressure to just have words to say when we're under the gun, when we're in times of trial, whether that's formally or informally. And Jesus lays all this out, and in each one, he provides encouragement. He says, you may feel afraid of rejection and the crowd and the pressures on you, but even the number of your hairs is known by God. He knows you and cares for you that well. And Jesus says, when you acknowledge me, I brag about you in the presence of the angels, just to encourage us. And he promises, when you're in a situation where you need words, you don't have to come up with those yourself. The Holy Spirit is going to tell you what to say. God has everything firmly in control, so don't be afraid to bear witness to me. It's interesting that biblical word witness is the word martyr. We usually think of martyrs as people who tragically die for their faith, and that does happen and has happened through history. It still happens today. But we are called to be living witnesses, living sacrifices, living martyrs who bear witness to God in our lives today. And Jesus is cheering for us and encouraging us all the way. And by the way, this has a lot to do with what we talked about last week at the end of chapter 11, that we do this by attending to God's inner life in us, by not trying to do more and more and more, and our life to be more and more frantic and busy, but taking time to be with God and letting Him restore and heal and build health into our inner life and our relationship with Him. It's out of that stillness and out of that confidence and strength that God allows us and helps us to be witnesses to Him. This passage this week contains this sometimes a frightening sounding warning about committing blasphemy against the Holy Spirit, which is the one unforgivable sin. And I just want to say it's not about accidentally committing some kind of crime against God that we find out is unforgivable and we are just out of luck. It's about fearing God more than anything else. When we cease to do that, when we cease to put our trust in Him, when we cease to look for God for strength, for meaning in our life, for all of that, then we cease being able to even ask for God's wholeness and forgiveness in our life. So Jesus says, keep your relationship with God alive. Keep seeking the life of the Holy Spirit in you, and God's life and God's forgiveness is assured to us. So friends, I hope this is encouraging. Go to rcwestminster.com, catch the whole message, and I hope it's a blessing to you so you can be a blessing to others this week. Have a great week.